So boom. I was, I don't know if I'm gonna really upload this or not, but just in case I do. I was looking at my MacBook and I was looking for something and I came across these messages and I was like giggling and laughing because it was just like, oh my God, like I'm not even there anymore. It was like 2 years ago, because but yeah, we're in 2024. It was like 2 years ago, the messages. And it just had me thinking about how I was really, I don't know, like, okay, let me just be specific. The guy was talking about in the text messages, he was like being really sweet and, you know, texting me good morning every day. Shout out to New Orleans. And he was like, you always on the move. And back then in 2022, I was just thinking like, was I? Like, I really wasn't. I was, you know, in my apartment, taking care of me and my fur baby, Bruno. What was that? Like I was in my second year of pharmacy school, just doing me, minding my business. And you know how every now and then, like back then, I guess I was like on the dating apps every now and then or whatever. I was like, I don't even know how I met him, because I was like, who is this today? Like, and I was just looking at the other messages and I was just giggling because I was just like, dang, I'm really a vibe. Not to be like conceited or like arrogant, but just as far as my personality and who I am, I was just like, wow, like I'm really a vibe. And when I look at where I'm at today, I'm not even there mentally anymore. Like, I feel like I'm in such a better place as far as what I'm rebuilding, what my goals are, my mental space, as far as dating. Because I was even thinking, I was like, as much as I love love, as much as I would love the thought of like marriage and all these other things, it's just like, ooh, when I really think about it, I don't know. Like, I don't know about all of that right now. And like, I was even thinking about my friendships and how out of all the friendships that I've had, out of all of the like friend groups I've been in, I was thinking about my one ace boom cool, like that was my girl. Met her in high school, didn't even know, well, I already knew we were gonna be friends. Like, you know, she was quiet, I was kind of semi-quiet. You know, I don't know, I'm pretty talkative if I'm around the right group of people. But with her, I was just like, okay, she's quiet, she minds her business. Like, I love people who have like RBFs, because same. And I was just thinking about all my friendships and how she is the one friend that I can recall to this day that I know for a fact never talks about me behind my back to like other groups of people or like friendships, and vice versa. Like, I never went behind her back and like said anything ill will to anybody about her. And I would laugh till I cried and cried till I laughed with her. Like headaches, like real life headaches. And I've never, like, not to say that my other friendships, you know, were bad or whatever, but I've never had a friendship come close to that one. And it's just interesting how I don't know, like, because this is my second time talking about her. This is my second time thinking about her. And I remember her telling me something that happened in her life, and it crushed my heart. Like, it crushed my heart because with her, it's kind of like even if we aren't speaking, because I don't know where she's at, I don't know what she's doing now, it's just like, I hope she's okay. I hope she's okay. Like, I genuinely hope she's okay. I genuinely hope she's safe, her family is okay, and all those beautiful things. Because I think I tried to mend it. Like, I've tried to mend that friendship so many times, and I think sometimes we have to let things go. We have to let some relationships go. We have to let some friendships go. But for her, for whatever reason, I just feel like my heart would always be open to reconciling with her. It would always be open, because we never fell out over anything like, oh, you talked bad about me behind my back, you did this, you did woo-de-woo. It was never that. It was never that. And I guess I'm talking about it because I was literally reminiscing about something that happened, and I was like, ooh, me and her, we did it. I was telling my mom about it, and I was like, me and her, we did woo-de-woo. And it was just one of those really good moments. And yeah, shout out to Mrcry retrograde. Shout out to Mercury retrograde. I'm not gonna explain it, but if you know what it is, it is. You know, if you don't believe in it, you don't believe in it. I just like to make jokes about it, but wow, like life. I was even talking to my mom about how everybody is going through different things around the world. I was on the phone with a patient, or like for a patient call, and she was telling me how she just got back from Egypt, honey. I was like, okay, that's what I'm talking about. And it just made me realize, like, everybody, and I have had this mentality more recently than I used to. Everybody is going through different things at different times in their life. There's somebody who just passed away, but there's somebody who was, just born. There's somebody who is getting married, but there's also somebody who's getting a divorce. There's just so many things going on. There's people going through hardships, and then there's people going through successful moments. There's people who are losing a business, and then there's people who are starting up or rebuilding one. There are people who are, there's people who are surrounded by a whole bunch of people that they may or may not actually want to be around as far as support or love or business or whatever. And then there's people who are like feeling very, very lonely, or they're isolated, or they're secluding themselves. And I just think it's crazy how we live in a world like that. Like, we live in a world where we're all in our own bubble, but at the same time we're not. And I know for me personally, like, I'm just thinking about the headspace I'm in, and how, like, I'm really into yoga right now. I'm really into just working on myself and working on things that I guess trigger me emotionally, and what I want to put my energy towards. Because you see certain things, like you'll see people talking about certain things or whatever, and it's just like, you know what, whatever. But then it's like, you don't have to put your energy towards that. You don't have to tap into that. You don't have to look at it. You don't have to see it. You don't have to, whatever it is, you don't have to, depending on the situation. Because in other situations I have to bring all perspectives into it. But yeah, these little cute thoughts, they just have me thinking about how I've had some really good experiences in my life as far as people. Like, I've met some really cool people, and I've had some bad experiences, but that's life. Like, that's the journey. And I was thinking about how, like, I can't wait to see where I'm at in 5 years. Like at 35, I can't wait to see where I'm at. Okay, so boom, my little whoop-de-doo heated up. My little phone heated up. But anywho, I'm also thinking about how, like, when I think about a lot of things in my life, oh my God, okay, take it and go, please. Thank you. I was thinking about how I was younger and how I used to be so dramatic. And when I really think of, not dramatic, but I used to be really, really chill. But at the same time, because I was so emotional, because I think I was trying to like, I guess I should say I didn't know how to effectively transmute those emotions. You manipulate yourself into so many situations, and when you really like think back, it's like, dang, you do have to like look in the mirror. You do have to like reflect on the things that you did and the mistakes that you made, and you just gotta live with it. And I think it's okay to have regrets, honestly. Like, I think it's okay to regret things that you've done in life, or like, look, for me personally, I do regret some people that I've met. I do regret certain people. You know, I regret people that I've met. I regret situations that I put myself in. But I think at the same time, it's made me who I am today. Like, if I didn't go through all of those things, I wouldn't have the wisdom that I have today. So it's kind of like you can either, which I've probably emphasized before in one of my other videos, knowing me, but you can let those moments make you or break you. And for me, I feel like it's making me into a better person. It's making me into somebody who is willing to have boundaries and not apologize for it as I continue to get older, and still be kind and loving and whatever, and still have an attitude sometimes, because I am a woman, and you know, whatever, I'm emotional. Hello, get into it. And it's not fun to sit in those moments where things were your fault, or like where you were the cause of certain things that happened. Now, certain things, like I will always say, are not our fault. Like, I do feel like people take things too far. But at the same time, it's like, look, we were all young once. Like, I'll be on the phone with people who are like 18, 17, 22, because I'm 29, and I'll just be like, oh my God, you're so precious. And then people will be talking to me like I'm a baby, who are older than me, and they'll be like, oh, you're such a baby. And I think it's just so beautiful how, like, we grow up. Like, I've made my mistakes. I've done things that I wasn't supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? People have done things that they weren't supposed to do. Nobody is perfect. And life is beautiful because I'm going to make mistakes after this. Like, I'm going to keep making mistakes. That's just life. But I think I can have a different mentality as far as the decisions that I make. And I don't know. So, it was so funny. Now, when it comes to people being different, I just feel like, because somebody asked me, why do you talk so soft? And it's just like, well, why do you talk so loud? Like, I think that's so rude. Like, people are different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel the need to be loud all the time. Like, if I'm my goofy self around you, that means I'm comfortable around you. That means I feel like I can be myself around you. And like I said, I've only felt like that with one person, and as far as my friendships. And I don't know. I feel like you think about those things. Y'all, it's hot out here, and I haven't even tapped into my yoga today, but I know I will. And it's like, ooh, will I ever have a friendship like that again? Will I ever whoop-de-doo-doo-doo, you know? And I'm hopeful, But at the same time, I don't trust very easily. Like, I trusted her. I trusted her with my deepest, darkest secrets, if I were to have had one. I've never shared anything about her. Like, it's just been vice versa, that mutual respect. And I genuinely still have love for her. I really, really do. That is one friendship that I will always remember, for sure. But yeah, I don't trust easily nowadays when it comes to friendships or whatever. So I think that's a part of it as well. Like, I value loyalty, I value trust, and it's like, it's difficult to have, well, it's not difficult because I've had so many friendships, whatever you want to call them, after that. Okay, so boom, anywho, because I was about to go off into a whole different ramble, but I guess what I'm really trying to say is that with her, we were actually supposed to start a YouTube channel together, and I guess now that I'm like getting into these internet streets, or at least trying to, whatever, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. It's just like, dang, you think about stuff like that, like, it's weird. Like, we would talk about how, like, we were gonna have our husbands, like, our husbands were gonna be best friends, and our children, we're gonna be like growing up together, and we wanted to get like pregnant together and all these other cute things. Like, I remember her like buying us matching shirts for my birthday, and then we went to a restaurant. Like, I don't know, she was a real cool friend. Like, she was real cool. Like, and she knew green was my favorite color, so I wore the green one and she wore the pink shirt. Like, we were just like, that was my best friend, for real. But I don't know, I hope she's cool. I hope she's good. And I don't know, it's weird that you think of stuff like that, because there's other people, I swear, ooh. But, you know, I'm gonna let that go. But yeah, life is interesting. Like, it's so interesting, and I'm just in a space where I think, it's not that I'm not open to friendships, it's not that I'm not open to relationships, but I think I'm more so in a space where it's like, I'm chilling. Like, I'm chilling. Like, I'm really, really chilling, because yeah, I'm chilling. And you know, sometimes I'll find myself even tapping into content that I don't even really care for real. This is a segue, but I'll find myself tapping into content that I don't really care for, as far as like I don't know, like, it was something where she was talking about spirituality and how I guess she was using this couple for her content, I don't know, and how I guess they were cheating in the background, and in front of the camera, or like on camera, I guess he was, you know, being this spiritual person. And it was like, wait, because I actually watched them, like, hold on, or I used to. So it was like, oh God, like, stuff like that. It's just like, and even she said it, it's kind of like, you can only be so spiritual, you can only grow so much. Well, she didn't say it like that, but I feel like, let me just say, I personally feel like you can only be so spiritual, you can only grow so much sometimes when it comes to your core and like who you are as a person. And if you're gonna cheat, you're gonna cheat. If you're gonna do certain things, you're gonna do certain things. And nobody's perfect, but I mean, you know, that's their personal business. So I don't know, life is weird, and yeah, if you don't like people talking about life, you probably shouldn't click this video. But no, let me stop playing. But it's the truth, it's life. And yeah, it's just making me appreciate the life that I have. Like, my mother instilled some really good values in me, and then I had to go off and learn to be my own person, and now I feel like I'm back in this safe space, and I can't wait to see where things end up in the next few years. But yeah, because I definitely feel like I delayed myself. Like when I think about college, like, and how I was, I delayed, I guess my my bachelor's degree. I only graduated 1 year late in 2018, which is not that big of a deal. But there's just so many things in life. And then how with my pharmacy degree, that's a 2-year delay. But you know, sometimes I think you have to grow. You have to like figure some things out. You have to figure your life out for yourself. Sometimes, and it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. Well, sometimes it is what it is. And sometimes you gotta want things for yourself, because I've had so many people encourage me, like strangers, and not that they're like, oh, go, you got this. It's just like, they're like, you're gonna be a great pharmacist. Like, I hope you do well. I hope you make it. And it's like, dang, thank you. You know? And I've had people question me like, oh, well, you need to see if you really want to do this. You know, I've had different perspectives or perceptions about my journey. And that's okay, because I think everybody has to live their journey. And they have to figure it out for themselves. And I think if anybody is patient enough, what am I saying? If anybody is patient enough to like join me on my journey, child, you a real one. If you even like care to join me on my journey, you a real one. So yeah, I don't know. Life is interesting. Spooky.